Alright everyone, and welcome back to Vettel Career. In the previous race it was yet another podium for Vettel then at the Canadian Grand Prix, another second place for him. It was so nearly another victory in fact, and we're now going to look at the driver's standings then after round 9 of 18. So yep, that was the first half of the season over then, and Michael Schumacher then still leads the championship. He's on course for his 9th world title then. He's 4 points clear of Fernando Alonso at this stage, and it's Raikkonen and Vettel who aren't too far back, and yeah, I think they still got a good outside chance to win the title here then. If we look further down, those are the full standings then after 9 rounds out of 18 then, and well, we're now going to turn our attention then to the second half of the season then, which begins at the United States Grand Prix at Indianapolis, the second of the 2 races in the North American leg. And yeah, Vettel then 14th after Q1 then, so not too great, but I mean, there's still a chance for him to improve now then in Q2, and we're going to go there now then. Here's his first time then. And yeah, Red Bull going with more straight line speed than on their setup this weekend, so they are going to struggle quite a bit in the middle sector, but they were hoping that in Q1, in Sector 1 and Sector 3 they'll be getting some good times. But across the line he comes in, he's only 14th again then with that time, 1:11.5, and quite a way off pole. There's a green flag up ahead which would suggest that there's been a yellow flag incident up ahead at some point, but whoa, Vettel then, he's coming to the end of his lap and just a clusterfuck of cars on the exit of turn 13 there. And well, he somehow managed to avoid him, and I think he improved his time slightly there, but it was Fernando Alonso who went into the back of a BMW Sauber there. On the exit of the corner he lost his front right tyre, and that must be why there were yellow flags originally, but as we saw when Vettel came through there, he started waving the green flags, and we see clean here then had gone slowly, but yeah, you can see a marshal's got a green flag out, so yeah, here comes Vettel then out the final corner, and he so nearly ploughed into one of them. That could have been a horrific accident there, but Vettel keeping his foot in it because he wanted to finish that time of course. And yeah, he improved slightly, but yeah, still nowhere near enough, and skipping to the end of the session now where he got his next lap in, because I think he made a mistake on the lap before this one, and cross line he comes in, and it's he's looking to get a 1:10.8, and he does that. He's 600ths off, and that was the difference between 10th and 12th for him there. And well, he had track up ahead and hardly any fuel left, so that was the best time he could do there unfortunately, and he's out in 12th place then, so really not a good result for him there, and for his teammate there in 16th place. So yeah, it's looking like Red Bull's setup here isn't really working in qualifying, but they'll be certainly hoping for that good straight line speed in the race, and it should help them a lot with overtaking. So we go to the grid now then, and Michael Schumacher, championship leader, takes pole then for the United States Grand Prix. And yes, Vettel, who's sort of the man back on form then after the last race, who takes 2nd place, once again ahead of Alonso then, with Barrichello 3rd and Button 5th then for the 2 Hondas, and Nick Heidfeld with, well, I'm pretty sure is BMW's best qualifier of the season and in 7th place. They're still yet to score points this season, so they'll be hoping today could be their chance, as we see Trillium Massa rounding out the top 10, there's the 2 Germans on row 6, the 2 Williams then on row 7, with Villeneuve and Klein 15th and 16th. Scott Speed on the 18th at his home race, and then you see E-Day split in the 2 Midlands there at the back of the grid. Here we are then on the grid, and just waiting for lights to come on now, and Vettel with a lot of work to make up today then. Lights are on now. Away they go then at Indianapolis, and it's looking like a very good start here for Vettel then. He's already getting alongside Ralf Schumacher, he's passed him as well. Looking at Massa and Trulli now then, and he's keeping this inside line, so that should benefit him into turn 1. He's quite late on the brakes there, he's actually a little bit too cautious though into the corner. I think he's a bit sensitive of running into back anyone, but Montoya goes onto the grass there, so he's up into 8th place already then, already into a points place. He's looking at the inside Nick Heidfeld, who runs wide in that Sauber, but it looks like he's actually hanging on around the outside there. Of course that's going to be the inside line for this turn 5 or 6, and he's back through then into 7th place, so Nick Heidfeld not went to sacrifice that place too easily, and Vettel back down to 8th place for now then, but still a fantastic start for him then, having started 12th place, and he's up into the points already then, so yeah, that's exactly what I need to do off the line then, as Montoya is going to be looking back at him now then. Of course he'll be wanting to score some points today. He's not had a great few rounds, as we said, and yeah, Vettel still on the back of Nick Heidfeld then as we come towards the end of the lap, and this is where we should see the Red Bull looking strong now then on this straight, and this is where he should be looking at a chance to overtake him now then, as we head around 10-12 and now towards 10-13, and Vettel then round, well, he's on the inside, he's pretty much passed him before they even really turned in for 10-13 there, so yeah, that straight line speed really helping a lot there in the slipstream. But now Heidfeld fighting back, so it doesn't look like it's too great here then, as Heidfeld is looking back over his inside, but Vettel has just about hung on the brakes then, and Heidfeld certainly went for that one, but just didn't have enough in the end. Then as we skip to the later on in lap 2 then, Vettel stood up in 7th place then, but this twisty section, oh no, he's dropped it on the curb I believe, and wow, we knew they would be struggling in the middle sector, but well, that was a big mistake there. I think it really was just a driver error, it wasn't really anything to do with the setup there, but a lot of ground to be made up for Vettel, and yeah, he's down in 12th place and with cars on his tail now, and yeah, he's heading down the pit straight now then. He'll be hoping for some of that straight line speed, but it doesn't look like he's really got it then, as look at Rosberg, look at the run he had there then, and he's going to drive straight past him, it looks like, into turn 1, and he's up into 12th place. So this has really turned into a bad day already for Red Bull here then, if they haven't got enough speed to even defend positions then, let alone go on the attack. And yeah, well, Clean's still down there in 15th place, so this is really not looking like a good race at all then at this stage, and it already came from that mistake from Vettel, you'd have to say. But Vettel getting back on the attack, they actually have a little bit of contact in 10 and 13, somehow they managed to get away with it, and well, Vettel back up into 12th is he? Well, Rosberg is trying to fight back, but it looks like Vettel has just about got enough to hang on to position this time. He's up into 12th place, and he's now getting back on the attack of Jarno Trulli and Mark Webber then. So he was looking a bit slow after that mistake, but it looks like he's back up to speed now then, and look at that, running outside in turn 13, that's not something you usually see there, as he's up into 11th place now then, as we begin lap 5 of 22, and Trulli trying to fight back now, so it seems that the Red Bull is only really quick in the slipstream, which isn't what they'd really be hoping for, but I guess it does help with overtaking, and he's looking at the inside of Nick Heidfeld now then, and once again Heidfeld not even hang on the outside, he's having a solid drive this weekend, but Vettel's going to look at the inside down into this hairpin, but Heidfeld's shut the door on him, and Vettel's gone for a second spin already then. He's going to try and turn it around, but there's just no space in the traffic to get through. Oh, and Scott Speed then going in at full speed, and he's just taken the front wing off both their cars, and that really was careless from the Toro Rosso driver there to not notice everyone slowing down in front of them then. The yellow flags were out and everything, and well, Vettel's race has really gone down the drain now then, as see a replay then, Heidfeld just didn't seem to want to yield that position there. He just was fully focused on going into the apex, and well, you see everyone slowing down there, Klee and Liuzzi, but Speed, no, he just decides to go in there full throttle. Well, probably not full throttle because it's a hairpin, but still rather careless from him there, and I'm sure the sort of Helmut Marko, Dietrich Mateschitz, and well, all the senior Red Bull guys won't be too happy with that one at all, as on to the end of the lap then, of course Vettel's going to have to come in now for that front wing change, and well, it couldn't get much worse for him today, I don't think. Now then, of course they'll try and fuel him up to the end now then, but that's still a long way for Vettel to go on those tyres, and also he'll be very heavy on fuel, so he comes in, and well, they're just going to have to try and do the best they can now to salvage some kind of decent result here then, and it's going to be a long stop as well, so yeah, and he'll at least have Scott Speed for company then as he tries to recover some positions then, and out of the pits he comes, and well, would you believe it, Toro Rosso were much quicker than in the pits, and well, look at the gap he's got already then, and he came in slightly after him as well. But Vettel out then in dead last, and well, he's got another problem for him there as well. As you look on the mini map, this is a short track, and the leaders are already coming round to begin their next lap. So, well, if Vettel gets lapped here, then that's any chance of him salvaging a good result gone, and he's really going to have to put his foot down now to try and avoid that. But he manages to catch up to Scott Speed at least, and yeah, here he is then, about to begin lap 8 of the race then, and well, he's got a very good run here then, and well, we're finally starting to see where that straight line speed comes from. He's getting nearly 210 miles an hour down the straight, and up the inside he goes then. He was over a second behind, I believe, at the start of that straight, and yeah, he managed to get past Scott Speed by the end of it then, so it's a little bit too late, but yeah, they're finally starting to show what that set was all about really. And there's some more bad news from there, as you see Rosberg and Klein have both been in the pits, and well, they're miles ahead, so yeah, it's really looking like this isn't going to be a good result at all for Vettel then today. It's looking like just getting it to the end of the race will be an achievement for him, and a few more cars in the pits, and including Jack Villeneuve, UG Day, Christian Albers I believe it is, and it's going to be close with Villeneuve out the pits then, as it the computer couldn't seem to decide who was ahead there over the line, but it looks like Vettel has got himself out ahead of the BMW Sauber then, so not a good day for Villeneuve either then, it seems, with Vettel into 18th place for now then. But his day does get a little bit better then, as Montoya is coming around turn 12 and he has an engine failure, so yeah, I think that rivalry has sort of heated up again after Vettel pulled that trick on him at Silverstone coming out the pits. But yeah, Montoya out the race today then, and that'll be a place game for Vettel then once he catches up to him. So yeah, it's not all bad then, I guess, for Vettel. And we're skipping on to lap 11 now of the race, and a few more cars are going to be fitting in. Montero comes in on this lap, then that puts Vettel up into 16th place at this stage. So yeah, it's really going to be about gaining as many places as he can now while there are still cars at the back to pit. But yeah, he's only 16th place now. It doesn't look like he's going to be gaining many more places then, as Liuzzi's in now then, so that'll be another place hopefully for him. And it looks like he's got a place down. Liuzzi is just coming out of the pits now though, so it's going to be close. But looking on the minimap, it looks like Vettel's comfortably ahead of the Toro Rosso driver there, so he's up into 15th place and he's still about 10 seconds behind Clean then, so it's going to be tough for him to catch up, I think. Although there's a nice group of cars there that Clean is part of, but it just didn't look like Vettel's close enough. And I believe this is the last car that has to pit now, Takuma Sato, and oh yeah, Vettel comfortably ahead of him then, up into 14th place. But well, he's, yeah, as I say, they're 10 seconds behind and his tyres are going to be going off pretty soon, so yeah, it's really not looking likely that Vettel's going to be able to catch up. And there wouldn't really be much point in Clean dropping back to help him, because well, getting up to 13th place isn't really going to help him in any way. So yeah, there really wasn't much that Red Bull could do for him today then, and it was a disappointing drive. I don't think the drive overall from Vettel was that bad, I mean, apart from that one mistake, but still not the result they would have been hoping for at all then, as yeah, Vettel just with a rather lonely drive to 14th place and in the end. And yeah, there he goes across the line then in Indianapolis. So there are the final results then from today, and well, it couldn't have been much worse for Vettel really then. First Michael Schumacher, second Fernando Alonso, third Kimi Raikkonen. So that couldn't have been much worse for him today in terms of the championship. But yeah, those are the rest of the results. Then Barrichello in fourth from Fisichella and Button there. Massa getting a point there, 2 points in 7th, and Drilly running out the points in 8th place, with Webber, Ralf Schumacher and Rosberg then rounding out that first page of results then today. And over the page we see it was Nick Heidfeld in 12th, and Clean, I believe, beating Vettel on track for the first time this season. I mean, he beat him in Australia, but Vettel didn't finish that day. Then we see Liuzzi in 15th place, Jack Villeneuve not having a good day in 16th place there, and while Scott Speed not having a great home race at all for him then, as he crashed head-on into Sebastian Vettel only 5 or 6 laps into the race then, and effectively ruined his chances of any decent result there and then. And Yuji did then finish last, and Juan Montoya then, with that engine failure, was in his retirement today. So we see the driver points then from today, and I said it wouldn't be a good result then for Vettel in the championship, and he's now 28 points off. So yeah, it really is going to be a tough fight back now for him, but I mean, it's still 8 races to go, so I mean, it's not over till it's over. It's still 80 points still to play for, so yeah, he's just got to try and do the best he can now then, and hope for some bad luck for the top 3 then in the championship. We see a few minor changes there then, Trulli overtaking Webber, I believe it was, and Ferrari and Renault then equaling the top points then today then, so it's Renault who keep their lead in the drivers' in the constructors just about over Ferrari, with McLaren rather distant third now then, and Honda extending their lead, their 4th place over Red Bull a bit today then, and down the bottom is still the usual teams then yet to score points. So back in the motorhome now then, and yeah, Red Bull aren't too happy today. I mean, I think I was a bit harsh on Vettel really, considering Scott Speed crashed into him, well, and sort of Nick Heidfeld did as well. But nonetheless, we're going to be looking ahead now then to the French Grand Prix, and you know, it is interesting then, an advert for Renault then. I don't think Vettel's that interested in joining Renault, because I mean, his heart's always been with Ferrari, but he's just going to click on that just to see what the top teams might have to offer. But nonetheless, we're looking ahead now to the French Grand Prix. But that was it for today then. If you did enjoy this race, make sure you leave a like. I'll see you next time for France. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.